till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
What's up guys, it's Morrany here and welcome to a new Dofus Let's Play episode. As I mentioned in my last video, I decided to do all the other blobs, the Indigo, the Morello and the Pippin blob off screen, and I finished that recently and I'm back at the quest at Percy Pointer 2.-1. And we had back the quest and we got some nice level ups during the dungeon. The Fecker is level 80, Panda 78, Kra 77 and the Aniripsa is 78. And let's look what's the next dungeon on our list. It is the Cannibal Unchained. So we have to go to the Moon Island. For that you have to get to the cannon. So the Cannibal dungeon is on the Moon Island. Moon Island is right to the Magna area here. And therefore you have to go to the cannon. And this cannon is on the map 11.10. And to use that cannon, you need a helmet and wooden wings. And I buy them from the market and we meet at the cannon. Okay, I got the helmet and the wooden wings. There's also another item called the improved wooden wings. You don't need that. That's for some quests on the Otomai Island. So make sure you just have or buy these wooden wings from the market. And the helmet is quite expensive. It's around 23 KK I think in the market, but the recipe is not so expensive. So just buy the resources, and if you have a tailor level 20, or you just go to the workshop and go to the book and search for other tailor level 20, there are I think tons of them, or just message a higher one and you get the craft for free because they level a little bit. Yeah, you have to equip them and then you have to talk to the Charlie's agent's rep. Because I have the Cannibal's quest currently activated, I mentioned that in the last video, you can get this quest from -1 2 from the Smith workshop. There you get the 3 quests and you get some nice additional karmas and not karmas, just XP and a nice emoji. So you have to talk to her. Just click through and then you have to buy a ticket. And when you have equipped the helmet and the wooden wings, just click on the cannon here and you get directly with this nice cutscene here to the Moon Island. And here we are. Just equip the cape and the hat again. And then you have to talk to her and you can select different answers here. When you activate another quest, you can start the Coco quest line. Now I don't do this because I just want to focus on the dungeons. Maybe I come back later when we are a little bit higher, because therefore we have to do the Moon Island and the LeChuck's boat. And I don't want to have so much quests activated. I just want to start them when I want to, so that I don't get too confused in my quest book here. So yeah, that's basically it. I do this with all characters and then I go to the Cannibal's dungeon and come back to you when I'm at the boss room. Okay, see you there. Okay, boys and girls. Actually, I think there is no girl watching or no woman watching my videos. Or YouTube says that no woman is watching, so sadly, but okay for me. Okay, we are at the Cannibal's dungeon, last room, and let's go to the offensive website again. We have the Cannibal, and he is weak to neutral res, has around 600 HP, and has 2 spells. One close range spell, does up to 50 damage and does a pushback, and 1 to 6 range spell, also 50 damage and reduces resistances. The Kannibal Terry is weak to fire resistance. It has some decent air resistance, also 610 HP, and has a damage spell, 1 to 6 range, steals agility, so it's bad for the Cra. And has another one where he can buff himself 100 power. And this is quite interesting. When he comes in close combat, he can cast a spell, and when you hit the Cannibal Terry, you hit yourself, so it's basically 100% of damage reflection. So pay attention to that when you play fast and don't pay attention to that, you will damage your own character, and then the fights can be a little bit tricky. When you pay attention to that, the fight shouldn't be a problem. So Cannibal Jeff, weak to earth, has the spell Friendly Push, up to 50 damage, pushes one cell, a decent water damage spell in a 1 to 6 range, and a protection spell where he can buff himself 10% shield, so it's 60 shields. Cannibal Zerberg, weak to air, and does apply a spell where you lose 10 earth for every 1 AP, so maybe focus him first, then you avoid that damage from the AP using. And Savage Cry, he has, like the Cra, spell where he can increase this the range in a circle of 2 cells. So last, before we get to the boss monster, the Cannibal Thumb, weak to water damage, and has a close combat, a static spell where he can inflict in a circle of 2. So sometimes I said he has a static spell, but didn't explain that. So static spells are that most of the time they are castable in on a range from 0, so basically just on their own, and then they have a circle of, for example, 2 or 3. In this circle they inflict damage or apply any spell, so that's static spells. And another static spell where he can buff himself to MP, dodge, power, locker, or range. So this one just does damage in close combat. So Cannibal Unchained, 1600 HP. It's basically not so much. Weak to neutral and to air, has some decent earth resistance and good water resistance, and has some spells where he can summons this doll here, and this doll swaps the position with the Cannibal Unchained and reduces range. So sometimes when the doll is in it's doll's turn, the doll switches the position with the Cannibal Unchained, but not so big problem especially for a range team. What's that? The effect is triggered when the target receives damage. Okay, when you damage him, and the spell is active, he gets 50% of heals. I don't know if this is correct. We have to see this in the fight, and has a good damage spell, 102 to 112 neutral damage. And what is this? I don't know, but doesn't matter. This dungeon is not so hard. I think we won't have any problems. So because of that, we jump in. But before we do that, I nearly forgot that. We check the achievements. So Cannibal, we have the zombie achievement. Just use 1 MP per turn. And the first achievement, I think we could try that. The previous rooms weren't so much of a deal for me, so I try first zombie. I don't think so, because I am lagging a little bit of range, and when they come in close combat, they do good damage. So I just try the first achievement. Okay. The Kra does a good damage, so I place him near the Ripside, and the Ripside can buff 2 APs in the first turn. I don't want to go in so much, so I just hit from range once. Okay, Kra does very good damage. Unboosted, no buffs applied, and around, what's it? 170, 100 and 300 and my math aren't so good. 45 damage without any buffs, but on minus 10% resistances. So now, as you can see, the Halopori doll swaps the position with the panda. I thought it is swapping the position with the Cannibal Unchained, but seems not. Yeah, just throw them away, get back in the position. Okay. Yeah, and the panda's rage reduced. Okay. Shields and this new spell, Reinforced Protection. Very nice. Plus 120 power and 160 power on glyphs. Very good. Maybe this spell is when you... Let's look this up again. Maybe it works like that. When you hit the Cannibal, the monsters around are healed by 50% of the damage. Could imagine that. Because when I hit him, there was no healing. Again, no healing. Now I want that the boss is coming close a little bit. So far so good. The dungeon is not hard, as I said. Try to block the line of sight of this doll here with the coney. Also the damage of the Cannibal Thumb is not so high as I thought. Okay, Candy Craw. It's not enough, but Panda can maybe finish him off. Oh, no. But now the Fecker can. Okay, well done. Wasn't a problem. Okay, very good. Have to heal up the Panda again a little bit. AP for the Craw. So always I throw them away, so we get damage from the glyph. Maybe the damage is enough, but I put on the safe side. Very good. Apply shields. Again, reinforced protection. And try to not split your damage, just focus on one and kill them one by one, and then you should be good. When the enemy gets the other spell, Galvazing Word or something like that, then the enemy gets so OP because he can cast the spell in the first turn, applies 2 AP to every character in the team, and then I could switch Stimulating Word to Self-Sacrificing Word and give a nice 220 power buff just for 1 AP. Very overpowered, I think. And the enemy has also nice MP buffing skills. Where is the spell? Ah, here was it. 160 life-giving word, 2 MP for 3 turns, just for 1 AP. Very, very nice. I love to have this spell right now. But we are good for that, and we finish off the last monster. Fecker got a level up, 81. And also the Panda got a level up. And now we have to talk to the lovely Cannibal organizer, and we can finish this quest here. Get a level up as well. Okay, and that's for that. We have to talk to Percy Pointer again, and let's see if we can get to level 80 with all characters. And yeah, see you there. Okay, now we are at 2-1. Percy Pointer is straight in front of us, and we are report back from the Cannibal dungeon. 81 on the Annie, 81 on the Panda, 79 on the Craw, and 83 on the Fecker. Maybe I slow him down a little bit, that the Craw can catch up. I think I do that just with 20%. And the other ones maybe 10. Or I leave it like that. The packer doesn't go so fast. Okay, next up is the Wabbit. I think I wasn't on the Wabbit. Let's check if I have this up. No, I don't. So therefore you have to do a quest again. I get all the resources you need there, therefore, and then I get back to you. So now I got all the things we need for the quest and can activate this quest at -2, -4 at the Optimize Assistant, and he says he needs 1 blue scour leaf, 1 white, 1 green and 1 red scour leaf wing, and I got this on all 4 characters. When you did the Scour dungeon, you have them in the inventory, and after that you can go to the Optimize Assistant and then do this before you have to do this later, and then you get this Wabbit potion and also get a nice experience boost and some karmas. So I do this on all characters, and when I get to the Wabbit Island, I get back to you. I nearly forgot to tell you how you get where you can find the boat to the Wabbit Island, and the boat is in the Adrestham Harbor at 9-2, and when you have the Wabbit potion, you can just enter the Wabbit Island, talking to Captain Lily here, and you have to pay 500 karmas to get to the Wabbit Island. And then, very important, don't forget to save the zap here, because this is very annoying. When you start your quests or want to go to the dungeon and you didn't save the zap over here and have to go to the harbor again. So that island is a little bit tricky. I show you this on the world map. So this island is divided into 4 sections. So where you get from the harbor is this Cawwot Island, and you have the Wavestone Island, the Isle of Crone, and the Gwym Maze Island. And you have a tunnel system, therefore you can also look this up in the internet. Just hit Dofus, Wabbit Island, hit tracks, so there's something. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wabbit Island, Dofus. Then you can see all the ways you have to go. Red is on top of the maps. Blue is in the underground, and these blue dots here are key guards that is necessary for the Wabbit quests to get the Cawwot Dofus. Because I have already 8 of them, and I thought that Mistopia did it on his channel. If you like to see me doing all the Wabbit quests, just leave it in the comments down below. But for me, and it's just not necessary for me because I have 4 times multiplier, and the Cawwot Dofus gives 60 wisdom, and yeah, for that reason I don't do the quest because it's quite long, to be honest. But I can show you a quick way to the Wabbit Castle, and when you get from the zap or from the boat here, go to this map, 24-4, and then go up and left, and 2 times up, or 3 times, I don't know. Let's see. I think it's 3 times. Then you have to get on this level from this cupboard here. Yeah, it's 3 times. Go on the right. Right again. And then you have to go in the underground. When you don't see where you have to click, just hit the Y button on your keyboard, then the clickable items are highlighted. And then you get to this map here where you can select 4 different ways. I go the way on the left, and then you get to this to the map 23-10, and then go down 1 map and enter one of these 2 houses here and get in the underground again. I hope it's the right way. No. It's the wrong one. Forgot what I said. You have to... this is the way where you get the Cawwot spell, and yeah, it's the way for the Cawwot spell and the way for the Wabbit quests. You have to go to the map where the spell of Cawwot spell is highlighted on the map 22-7, and there you have to go to the underground, and from that point it's just going forward all the time. Then you have to you enter the first time the Gravestone Island where the skeleton Wabbits are. Just follow the way here. And then you have to pay attention a little bit that you don't click on these holes here. Therefore, it's good to have the grid activated. You can do this by right-clicking General Options and Show Grid, and then you see the grid perfectly. And yeah, you have to click here up again and walk through this little labyrinth here. And then you can see it on the mini-map, the way to the next underground tunnel. And maybe you ask yourself why I don't use the GPS mounts. They are deactivated for this island, so I can't use them. I have to walk the whole way. So get out of here. It doesn't matter which exit you take. Go on the right side here. 1 up again. And enter one of these 2 houses. Get in the underground. And you are on one of the islands, on the 4th island, I would call it. How is it called in the Wimace Island? And when we go on the left, we get to the Wabbit. I just show you really quick the way to the Wabbit's Warren. It's basically the same way, just you have to go not down, you have to go on the right, and then you have to go up, and you're at the entrance of the Wabbit's Warren. You could also exit here and go back again. On the Wimace, I don't know how to pronounce this. 26-12. Enter this house here. Get down the tunnels, and then that's the final way to the Wabbit Castle. it's good to have some soul stones with you in your inventory, because these arch monsters on the Wabbit Islet are very valuable. So they are around 600,000 karmas each, and I think in a 4-man team you can beat them, no problem. Yeah, that's the way to the Wabbit Castle, and I catch up when I get to the end room. So boys, I'm in the last room of the Wabbit dungeon, so head over to the Wabbit Castle defensive website. The Wabbits are also not so super hard. This T-Wabbit Wong Wo Sung Wee, I don't know, has 0 resistance and except of the neutral, 400 health, so pretty low. Damage spell up to 45% damage, neutral damage, and just castable. It's again a static spell, so up to 63 range. This spell is castable. Then Panic does also a static spell, push 1 cell and plus 1 20 dodge. So the T-Wabbit, negative 5% water damage. The Wabbit Punch up to 50 earth damage in close combat, and can buff in a cross shape 100 power and 100 damage for 1 turn. The Black T-Wabbit, weak to earth resistances, 430 health. Linear fire damage spell up to 50 damage and pushes 1 cell, and does require line of sight, so it's not castable through a wall. Wabbit Punch, also a close combat earth damage spell. The Wabbit, minus 5% water damage, water resistance, close combat damage spell, and has a spell where he can buff in a circle of 2, 1 AP, 1 MP, 1 range, and heals up to maximum, heals 20% of the max health, so that's the right way. Next one is the Black Wabbit, minus earth resistances, already has 500 HP. The Wabbit Punch, 47 earth damage, and Wahiba, Wabeha, so that's the right. Linear damage spell, 44 air damage, 1 pushes 1 cell. And the Wabbit, he's like an Osamoda, summoning all the little Wabbits here, the T-Wabbit, the Black T-Wabbit, and the T-Wabbit Ozungwi, and has a spell, a close combat spell, where he can do up to 70 neutral damage and pushes 6 cells, so avoid standing next to a wall and get heavy pushback damage. These are only the monsters you have to pay attention to. The Wabbit in close combat when you stand next to a wall, and the Grandpa Wabbit, he has some decent spells. So the first one is Explosive Cawwot, up to 7 range, does up to 112 fire damage, and that's in an AoE shape of a circle of 2, so the center and 2 additional to each side. In this shape he also can heal up to 75 HP, but only in a range up to 4 range, and can debuff 1 to 2 AP and 2 to 3 MP for 1 turn, also in this shape. And the Wabbit Punch, up to 87 close combat earth damage. And the last one, we have the Wabbit itself, is weak to water damage, so it's good for our Fecker, but has pretty high HP, 3000. I think that's the the most HP we have so far. And the first spell, 1 to 11 range neutral damage spell. He can reduce in each element 100 to 200 of each elemental stat. Can reduce the damage by 200, but only for weapon damages, and summons are covered. But so he's not so powerful. In the boss room there are 2 of the grandpa Wabbits, so pay attention to them. I start with them also first, I think, and then continue with the Wabbit, and I leave the Wabbit for last, I think. When we look at the achievements, we don't have good achievements. For now we have Blitzkrieg, I think, and Impertinence. Because the map is a little bit bigger, or the starting points are so far away from each other, I think it's not possible when your panda doesn't go first, or your first character can jump in like an IOP or Fecker. So that's not possible for me either. And Blitzkrieg, I can't do 3000 damage in one turn. So yeah, that's basically it for the preparation of the fight. Yeah, I just go in and see how this goes. I think I start on the right side, that I have these rocks here to block the line of sight a little bit. Yeah, I changed the any ripser. Yes, it's like that. It's better. Can I reach him? Yes, I can. 1200 HP, 3000 HP, and 780 HP. Pretty high, but I think we can manage that. So first turn I buffed this time, maximize my damage, and I need the range on my panda, that when I don't rage buff him, he's quite useless. So important. Fecker shield, not Fecker shield, it's the rampart. And then I do this glyph here to reduce range and do some nice damage. Fecker's the next one. And Danny is focusing on heals. By the way, what do you think it's better to do for this series? Should I upgrade the gear of the team to actual level 100 set when I have to, or should I upgrade it to a level 60 set? Because I think level 60 sets are quite OP with Delano and the Caracap and stuff like that. You can easily get to 10, 11 AP and 5 MP. Do you like to see that I run level 100 characters, for example, with level 60 gear, because it's more realistic for you? Or should I upgrade it directly to 100 level 100 gear or level 110, 20 gear? Leave this in the comment section below. That would help me a lot. Okay, Panda is the last one who's out of who's missing AP, and I have to heal because they do so much damage. I hope I can finish this Grandpa Wabbit off after the turn the Kra and the Panda. It's not good to stay in this shape here because, as I said, they do a good AoE damage. But I forgot that, so keep that in mind. 300 damage and another 90, so around 400. I have to go in close combat to finish him. Okay, first is done. And Absorptive Arrow is so OP. You heal the half of your damage, and so basically I don't have to heal up Kra. Just buff him 2 AP, and then he can hit 2 times Absorptive Arrow. Pretty nice. So now I throw him a little bit back. Critical hit, 240 damage. Okay. Glyph does the rest, and now start hitting the whole Wabbit. In this case, also the double bubble spell is better than 1 times cloudy, because yeah, the bubble spell is in the second stage, I would call it. So you get damage from 12 to 14, and cloudy attack is just from 19 to 21. So I use 2 times double. 2 times bubble instead of 1 time cloudy attack. When you have activated the damage preview or healing preview, then it should be obvious that you use 2 times bubble, but some people don't use that damage preview stuff. Oh, I thought I can push him in the glyph, but this was 1 cell too far. Yeah, this is also working pretty good for us. Yes, very good. So, Wabbit last. Push a little bit the panda so can pick up the Kra and throw him near the Wabbit. And I use this turn to buff. Don't want to go in close combat because I don't know how much this damage he does. Maybe a sharper. Do your job, mate. So vulnerability, because at 28 resistances, it's not worth it, so I use it for my Becker to optimize the damage. Reinforce protection, double bubble, and one natural attack. Would be good when I could push him out of the line, out of the line of the obstacle here, but I don't think I can do that with the Aniripsa. But on the Tra I have the lagging arrow, don't need any line of sight. Doesn't do so much damage, but it's something. Okay, to prevent that, I pick up the Tra for the next turn. Oh, it's better. Okay, it should be good. Damn, Schaefer. And sadly, I picked up my Kra and he ran out of AP buff of the Aniripsa. So when I now buff I want to buff the Kra, I get the Pandava gets buffed. But I hope that's still enough for this turn. I don't think so. Sadly. But now the Fecker can finish off. And we did the Wabbit Castle. Pretty awesome, I think. Was not much of a deal. The Quaqua set, I always say this, not the Quaqua set, the Quack set, the air, the fire, the earth, they're so overpowered. And do I have a recall potion? No. So when you get to the Wabbit Island, make sure you have some recall potions with you, because you can't use the Haven back on this island. And I don't have any potions with me, so I have to kill myself to get back to the Amagna area here. And I don't want to run all the way back again. So what I also would have done is just kill one character and then teleport to our other dungeon. That would also work, but in this case I want to make it a little bit faster. So let's run fast to Percy Pointer to get the quest, and then the team should be one level up. And let's see how the Dungeon Rusher quest continues. My PC is lagging a bit. Maybe I should decrease the number of characters on the map for switching to creature mode, but when I get away from the Magna Zap it's better, and I think it's better for the video that you don't see all the creature mode things. So when I look at my clock, we are already at 51 minutes. So I think I finished this episode after we completed the quest at Percy Pointer. And look how far, what's the next on our list? We have to talk to Simone Tall. Okay, where is she? Oh, she's in the breeder. So, okay, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, leave me the questions in the comment section below, or write me on Instagram. Maybe that's the fastest way to get in contact with me, because I'm not always online on my main or on the team, and when you write on YouTube I don't see that all the time. I try to answer all the time pretty fast, but sometimes there is some other stuff to do. When it's urgent you can ask me on Instagram. But okay, that's it for this episode. See you guys, bye bye.